The Earth is a blue planet with 71% of its 510 million square kilometer surface covered by marine waters with an average depth of 4 times the average elevation of the land. Life originated in the ocean, which continues to support all life today by generating oxygen, absorbing carbon dioxide, recycling nutrients, and regulating global climate and temperature. Oceans provide a substantial portion of the global population with food and livelihoods, means of transport for 80% of global trade, 32% of the global supply of hydrocarbons, with exploration expanding rapidly. Advancing technologies are opening new frontiers of marine resources development, from bioprospecting to the mining of seabed mineral resources. Oceans also offer vast potential for renewable energy production from wind, wave, tidal, thermal, and biomass sources. Managing the ocean economy in an eco-friendly manner is today's imperative. Indian Ocean region has almost the half of world's population residing on its coast. The Indian Ocean is warming more than the other oceans. Loss of beaches and thereby tourism potential is important in the Indian Ocean region. The IOC Regional Committee for Central Indian Ocean, IOC Indio, the regional subsidiary body of IOC, has the member states as Australia, Bangladesh, France, India, Indonesia, Iraq, Islamic Republic of Iran, Kuwait, Malaysia, Maldives, Myanmar, Oman, Pakistan, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Sri Lanka, Thailand, United Arab Emirates, and the United Kingdom. All the countries are Indian Ocean Rim countries. Efforts are on to expand the IOC Indio to an IOC subcommission with members from all other Indian Ocean Rim. The ocean's economy, also referred to as the blue economy, is a relatively new concept that has its origins in the green economy concept endorsed at the UN Conference on Sustainable Development held in Rio de Janeiro in 2012, aimed at significantly reducing environmental and ecological risks. At its core, blue economy refers to the decoupling of the socio-economic development from environmental degradation, efficient and optimal utilization of natural marine resources. The concept of a blue economy also embodies economic and trade activities that integrate the conservation and sustainable use and management of biodiversity, including maritime ecosystems and genetic resources. In addition, it includes activities that are not natural resource intensive, support sustainable patterns of consumption, and generate lower or no greenhouse gas emissions. It also seeks to contribute to mitigation and adaptation methods to address climate change risks manifested in the rise of the sea level and the acidification of seawater. Additionally, the blue economy approach supports sustainable livelihoods and food security for coastal populations. Establishing effective governance for the blue economy is essential for creating and regulating a sustainable balance between the utilization of marine resources and the protection of marine ecosystems. This is also the major challenge. Globally, about 350 million jobs are linked to the oceans through fishing, aquaculture, coastal and marine tourism, and research activities. Moreover, about 1 billion people depend on fish as their primary food. Overexploitation and poor management of marine resources result in loss of opportunities, heightened food insecurity, and diminished economic opportunities for some of the world's poorest people. The framework agreement governing the management of the oceans is provided by the 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, UNCLOS, which establishes a comprehensive framework for the use and development of the oceans. The Convention defines the extent of various jurisdictional zones delineated according to distance from coastlines based on set baselines and sets out the rights and obligations of countries regarding those zones. Countries have sovereignty over their internal waters, territorial seas, and archipelagic waters, and sovereign rights over the resources in their exclusive economic zone (EEZ) and the seafloor of their continental shelf. These zones represent about 30% of all ocean areas. Major features of UNCLOS include the conservation and management of living marine resources, rights on seabed non-living resources, obligation to protect and preserve the marine environment, navigational rights, legal status of resources on the seabed beyond the limits of national jurisdiction, the conduct and promotion of marine scientific research, and a procedure for settlement of disputes between states. For coastal countries, oceans and seas constitute a much larger geographic area than their inland territory, especially when the EEZ is taken into account. I can give a glimpse of the activities taken up by some of the Indian Ocean rim countries. In Bangladesh, discussions on the blue economy accelerated after the settlement of the maritime boundary delimitation dispute with Myanmar and India. The proliferation of marine resources in the maritime area offers Bangladesh scope for sustainable economic development. Bangladesh considers blue economy as one of the important tools available for achieving sustainable development since the concept of the blue economy has become a new trend of alternate economic models of sustainable development that puts the oceans at its center. Blue economy has become an integral part of the post 2015 development agenda and also has become an important tool for achieving Vision 2021 of becoming a middle income country and Vision 2041 of becoming a developed one. They have identified 9 priority sectors that are mostly untapped and require proper attention from all stakeholders. The Bangladesh National 8th Five-Year Plan 2020 to 2025 embraced blue economy and acknowledged the idea that transition to blue economy would entail fundamental and systematic changes in their policy, regulatory, management, governance frameworks, and identification of various maritime economic functions. India, which has a land space of approximately 3.29 million square kilometers, has a coastal EEZ of 2.3 million square kilometers and is likely to increase with the additional claim made on the continental shelf extension till 350 nautical miles. Therefore, sustainable harvesting of marine resources presents a significant opportunity for environmentally sound, socially inclusive economic growth, development and welfare of populations. A strong blue economy proposal prepared by Niti Aayog is under discussion with all stakeholders before finalization and implementation. It is also worth mentioning that a major program of deep ocean mission has been embarked by the Government of India, which is being executed by the Ministry of Earth Sciences and its institute, National Institute of Ocean Technology at Chennai. The blue economy, which in Iran is often known as sea-based development, is one of the topics of interest to the government and the private sector. There are particular incentive policies for it. Among the principal axes of this issue, the most consideration and investments have been made in tourism and marine ecosystem. Iran enjoys several islands in the north of the Persian Gulf, some of which have excellent tourist attractions, especially from October to April. Regarding marine aquaculture, the cage culture has been developed by considering environmental concerns. The issue of marine biomaterials has been studied at academic institutions with some commercial outcomes. In the two sectors of marine renewable energy and mineral resources, several studies are currently being carried out which are hoped to lead to sustainable industrialization in the future. Iraq economy has the export of oil and gas and the associated establishment of oil and gas derivatives, refineries, the establishment of petrochemicals, and the obtaining of financial resources, factories, production of renewable energy from water, as these water resources have enormous power to operate production engines in an environmentally friendly manner in pursuit of sustainable development from cheap resources that achieve self-sufficiency in electric energy. Production of mineral water and fresh water and related industry from the manufacture of plastic containers achieve high financial revenues. The strategic framework and policies that constitute the blue economy serve as a valuable resource for the state of Kuwait. Particularly, the blue economy supports Kuwait in its efforts to achieve sustainable marine economic activities and develop novel maritime-based technologies. Importantly, Kuwait needs to diversify its sources of income and revenue, and the blue economy offers avenues for Kuwait to sustainably and lucratively exploit local natural marine resources in an environmentally conscious manner. Relevant blue economy sectors that Kuwait is currently developing working on developing include fisheries and aquaculture, marine bioprospecting, desalination, transport and trade, tourism, recreation, and coastal development. Additionally, blue economy related activities indirectly contribute to the Kuwaiti economy and the environmental preservation through initiatives such as the Blue Carbon Initiative, coastal protection, including habitat protection and restoration, marine biodiversity maintenance like protection of species and habitats, and proper waste disposal, including assimilation of nutrients and solid waste. Qatar is the only peninsular country of the Arabian Gulf with rich and diverse marine biological and mineral resources. It attracts migratory species, example dugongs and whale sharks, in hundreds annually. The fishery and oil industries are the major contributing factors to the local economy. Qatar Ministry of Municipality and Environment is preparing a national conservation and management plan for sustainable utilization of marine resources. Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 was initiated as a far-sighted approach for economic growth and development in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. As part of Vision 2030, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has placed different plans to enhance the non-oil revenues by diversifying the economy. The Red Sea and Arabian Gulf resources present huge opportunities for increasing Saudi economic growth and social development, especially the tourism and aquaculture sectors, and tackle unemployment rates, poverty, and food security. The blue economy approach in Saudi Arabia aims for the improvement of human well-being and significantly reducing environmental and ecological degradation. Ultimately, introducing the blue economy concept means inclusion and participation of all affected social groups and governmental and private sectors. Many marine resources are not only targeted for catering to the local demand but exported as raw materials, intermediates, or final products, and the demand for goods and services originating in the oceans is likely to increase as populations continue to grow. Trade in marine products can create opportunities for economic growth, export diversification, and new investments. Moreover, as technology evolves and marine resources become more accessible, new economic and trade sectors are also likely to emerge, potentially generating new job opportunities. Major trade sectors include sustainable fishing and aquaculture, marine transport services and port management, marine renewable energy, marine bioprospecting and biotechnology, regulated seabed mineral resource extraction, and coastal tourism. Trade in these marine sectors can be boosted by introducing sound regulatory and institutional frameworks to develop ancillary services needed to undertake these activities, including financial, insurance, communications, testing and certification, and R&D activities, which are all challenging to implement. Regulatory frameworks are an enabling factor in the promotion of sustainable activities, moving production in ecologically friendly goods from niche market segments to mainstream international trade, thus responding to evolving consumer demand. To conclude, the catchword in the blue economy is sustainability. It is hence essential to take up activities in renewable energy, sustainable fishing, tourism, shore protection, beach nourishment, etc. effectively. Marine spatial planning and coastal vulnerability assessment are also to be taken up in the coastal states.